Great. So let's get started. As mentioned, my name is Alondra, and I'm here from Hostfully. I'm joined today by a couple of great people. The first is my colleague Frank from Hostfully. He's Director of Business Development. And Brad, I'm so sorry. I get the feeling I'm going to butcher your last name, so feel free to help us out with that.
Yeah, Brad den Dulk. It's a Dutch name, and it's split in half, so it can be a little confusing. Den Dulk.
Oh, easy peasy. Brad den Dulk. Yes. Yeah. So as we all know, the pandemic has brought along quite a few changes, and certainly an increase in last-minute changes to our own vacation plans, as well as requests for last-minute bookings. So today, we're very excited to have Brad here with us today. He's the founder at Getaway GoGo, a last-minute marketplace designed for connecting travelers to last-minute vacation rental openings and deals from professional property managers. So Frank, before we get started, we're going to go ahead and just pass it on to you, so you can tell us a little bit about Hostfully for those of you who are not familiar with us, and we'll do a brief recap of Hostfully before passing it on to Brad.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much, Alondra. Excited to have this conversation with you and Brad. So first of all, thank you for the introduction, and for Brad for joining us on today's webinar. And to those of you who have made time today in joining us on today's call, we're super excited to have you. So a little bit about Hostfully before we start. I don't have access to the screen, Alondra. Oh, wait, there we go. I have it. So before we start, kind of just wanted to let you know a little bit more about Hostfully. For those of you who are not familiar, we're a vacation rental company property management software, and helps you run your business from tip to tail. We essentially strive to help vacation rental companies and property managers increase their revenue, increase their streamline, and just automate their day-to-day operations and improve the overall traveler experience. Now, Hostfully has two products. These are both completely standalone products. So you have the property management platform and the digital guidebook. They're both fully integrated, so of course, more than welcome to use both of them together, but you also have the option to use just the property management software or just the digital guidebook. On the property management platform side, we have direct integrations with major OTAs, Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, and a bunch of other channels as well. And really, we work as a channel manager for those OTAs. So Hostfully will be your central software and hub in managing all of those reservations. We have a great pipeline feature, which is unique to the industry. And here is where you can see all your guests and exactly where they are in the process of their booking. So basically manage your operations in different ways than the other softwares. We have a really nice out-of-the-box direct booking website available to all users, and also included in our software are automated messages, both email and text messaging. We have reports, analytics, payment processing, and a whole lot more to help you run your vacation rental. And then also we have our standalone digital guidebook, really unique and beautiful platform. We focus on enhancing the guest experience. We also make it easy to share important information for your guest about their trip. So check-in details, directions, house manual information, and then of course, all your favorite recommendations. Again, this aims in boosting your guest experience. It cuts down on guest communication, and it also has the ability to get you more 5-star reviews. And you'll also have a lot of upselling features to increase your overall income. Now, we also, with the property management platform, we've also been winning awards. So super excited. It's been super fun and great. We won Matt Landau's VRMB Keystone Award the first year they had it for the best vacation rental software. And then they recently released their Keystone Awards in 2021, and we won again, making us back-to-back winners. One of the main evaluators, Terry White, said that Hostfully is one of the best softwares, period, I have ever seen. And then going back to the guidebooks, pretty much the same thing on the guestbook side, guidebook side. Erica is a client of ours and basically said the same view has many other of our clients. Here she stated that the guidebook totally blew her away, saved her a ton of time, and also that the guidebook is more professional than a Word document or PDF. So if you haven't tested our guidebooks out yet, we have free trial online for all subscriptions, and also one free guidebook for everyone who just wants to go ahead and test that out. For the reports and webinars, not only do we have incredible platform and beautiful guidebooks, but we also have these great reports and webinars. We have a variety of reports available on our website, which I encourage you to go to and check out at your leisure. Simple, hostfully.com/2020 report, and it has a good selection of reports. Future booking reports, multi-channel distribution reports, and other reports that have great insight can be useful for your business. So again, I just encourage you to check out those directly on our website. We have a ton to offer you there, along with blog posts and articles. If you do want any additional information on any of our products, please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to help and happy to coordinate and schedule a one-on-one demo if you want to. Also, lastly, enough about Hostfully. Oh, here we go. Oh, I thought I had another slide. My apologies. So again,
live webinars. That's the fun part.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. But yeah, like I said, that's enough about Hostfully. I'm going to go ahead and hand this off over to Brad with Getaway GoGo. So y'all feel free just to take it away.
Sorry, before you begin, Brad, I just wanted to mention to everyone, you're going to see a box over here on your right-hand side. So that is a place where you can ask questions throughout the webinar. So feel free to send in questions and we'll answer at the end, or Brad, if you prefer, during, whatever you prefer.
All right, sounds good. Well, hi, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here today to share some marketing best practices and tactics. Excuse me. I have a little tickle in my throat here today, so hopefully I won't have to clear my throat too much. Some marketing best practices and tactics for marketing, for minimizing and filling last-minute openings at your properties. First, a little bit about me. I'm the founder of Getaway GoGo, soon to be launched last-minute vacation rental marketplace. I'm a licensed real estate broker in the state of California. My wife and I are also vacation rental property investors, and our families own or have owned vacation rentals in San Clemente, California, Maui, Lake Tahoe, and Newport Beach, as well as a guest ranch in Northern California. I owned a technology company in Orange County for 10 years. I was also the co-founder of an OTA, which started in 2002 and was acquired in 2006. Most importantly, we were vacation rental property managers for 12 years in Southern California. And that company was Beachside Vacation Rentals. Based in San Clemente, California, we managed properties in 8 beach towns across 3 counties, including Los Angeles, Orange, and San Diego. We had 13 employees, 6 cleaning teams, company vehicles, used a PMS, managed housekeeping, pricing, reservation call center, run all the major OTAs, had over 100,000 social media followers that we marketed to at least twice a day, attended VRMA conferences, helped remodel our owners' rentals, and so much more. You get the idea. I understand property management from your perspective. It was also through our experience managing and marketing these properties that we realized the need for a company like Getaway GoGo. And during this time, I've been developing ideas about Getaway GoGo. And at the end of 2018, we decided to sell our property management company and develop this full time. More on that later. So do property managers have last minute openings at their properties? Well, of course they do. Despite the best efforts, most property managers end up with last minute availability for one reason or another. Last minute, as defined by U.S. Travel Association, is when travel plans are made within 14 days of arrival. For example, here you see a 4-night opening on the calendar just 10 days from today. This is considered last minute. Property managers who have last minute openings are not alone. We did a comprehensive study on last minute rental openings from hundreds of cities across the globe, from which we'll be sharing our findings in upcoming webinars. But here's an overview with the percentages of vacation rental specific travel bookings considered last minute for each region around the world. And as you can see, last minute bookings occur everywhere. Of course, that means that travelers are looking for and booking last minute availability. So why did people travel at the last minute? The recent coronavirus data shows that reservation window had shortened and is now lengthening again. I think it's more important to focus on pre-COVID numbers, give us a sense of what a normal environment looks like, including that in 2018, an incredible 44% of leisure travelers were already booking in the last minute window. We currently don't know what the volume of business travel will look like going forward, with so many working at home and using virtual meetings right now, but last minute business travel was already at 56% pre-COVID. Something interesting we learned at Beachside, and outside statistics confirm this, is that people will take a last minute trip if they see a good deal. In fact, 53% of people in the study said that they would travel because of a good deal. I also read a recent study where 49% of millennial travel is due to last minute choices, and that 69% of millennials surveyed actually regretted not taking a last minute trip. Additionally, in 2018, Google search trends had seen a 519% increase in travel searches with the terms tonight or today in it.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that's a lot. As much as we would like travelers to book directly on our own websites, the statistics show that 64% of travelers book through major OTAs because they love the convenience and simplicity that a marketplace brings to travel planning. So what are some of the challenges that property managers and travelers face with last minute travel? First of all, in my experience, addressing last minute openings is a team effort that includes marketing, revenue management, reservations department, and of course, operations, making sure properties are always ready for last minute guests. But on the top of the list is really creating awareness that you have a last minute opening to begin with. OTA property manager and traveler fees perpetually inflate the price of a property you're trying to discount, making sure you have the best, most direct communication with the guests as possible so you can close a reservation. And do you have the right price to rent the property to be competitive and be profitable? From the traveler perspective, there is searching multiple sites, which can take hours, actually finding last minute offers. If they're there, communication is usually done through the OTA. Service fee keeps the price from being the best book direct price it can be. And then there's the property manager OTA markup, which most people don't know is that since the OTA charges a commission to the property manager, we typically have to gross up the nightly rate by that amount to cover that cost. So what can be done to either fill or minimize your last minute openings today? At the vacation rental property management company we own in Southern California for 12 years, we tested many marketing tactics for strategically filling last minute openings in our calendars and proactively keeping openings from appearing. We found 9 strategies that worked well for us, and you'll notice that many of them are not, just purely reactionary. Hey, we have an opening, so we need to do this particular thing, but strategies to help prevent unnecessary last minute openings as well. So let's jump in. Number 1, creatively communicate your last minute deal in the listing headline. Remember when I said that 53% of last minute travelers are motivated by a good deal? Since that's the case, tell them you have the discount where you can. Headlines that work for us included, but are not limited to, cancellation special, will book fast. By the way, don't forget exclamation points. 20% off, or whatever percentage you're discounting for this weekend only. Don't miss this last minute special, last minute opening special, just $200 a night with the particular dates. I mean, really, there's no end to the options of what you can do, and we are very creative. These are the ones that worked for us. Yes, it takes time, but the number of competing listings on OTAs, adding a special headline or of some kind will work to catch attention, differentiate your property, and fill your openings. Surprisingly, many companies and individuals that have last minute openings don't also modify the headlines to highlight the last minute offer. Have a special, let travelers know about it. They will thank you for it. Number 2, lower minimum nights automatically. When you have seasonal minimum nights set in your PMS, but an opening is created that is less than what you have set, you can miss out on good reservations. Yes, you can do this manually, but automatically it's a no-brainer and will bring you more revenue for you and your property owner. Better yet, create a rule in your yield management software to do this automatically. Hostfully is connected to 3 of them, including Price Labs, Wheelhouse, and Beyond. And those are easily done within those. Use demand-based pricing instead of preset seasonal pricing. While seasonal pricing is an easy solution for the job of rate management, there are benefits of demand-based pricing, actively pricing to that's relative to supply and demand, including testing to see if your pricing is too high, which can leave you with last-minute openings that you now have to scramble to fill. Conversely, it can also help determine if you are leaving money, like a lot of money, on the table. I'm going to share a specific example from our friend Flo Stitch at AirDNA. And you can see that our over 50% of properties in Annecy, France, here in this example, have the same price all year round. However, hosts could be earning 10 to 40% more if they use dynamic pricing by taking advantage of those high season spikes to charge more and lowering prices for better occupancy in the low season. Sound like a lot of work? Well, it can be if you're doing it manually. Yield management software like the ones I just mentioned before that are connected to Hostfully provide you with the information and tools to make this daunting task much, much easier. And if you don't use or automate all their recommendations, these solutions still allow you to do price adjustments much quicker than directly modifying the seasonal rates tables. Plan pricing negotiations with your reservations team before they receive a traveler inquiry. So when a traveler is communicating with you about a property, they are obviously a hot lead, ready to make a reservation. Don't let them get away. If you know they're shopping around, stop the shopping now by offering to deduct a reservation fee, include the damage waiver fee, include a late check-in or checkout, reduce the nightly rate, or include an amenity that you would normally charge for. Of course, if they make the reservation right now. However, don't leave this process to a reservation spontaneity. Create a strategic and documented negotiation plan with your reservations team, which is what we did, including what you can negotiate, how much, in what order, and how close to the arrival date the request is. Otherwise, you may face unpredictable deals or an unending flow of discount approval requests, which can delay closing the reservation or perpetuate continual distractions for you throughout the day. Fill in the gaps by offering discounted nights before and after the reservation to existing guests. If you have 1 or 2 night gaps at the beginning of the or the end of the reservation, that will be difficult, if not impossible, to fill. Proactively contact guests who are already booked before or after that gap and make an offer they cannot refuse. Book the night before your reservation for 50% off. This is something you can do as soon as you see a gap in the schedule as well. Our reservationists made these calls daily and each week, and unless there were flight tickets or immovable arrangements that could not be changed, the strategy worked very well. Build your own book direct market on social media by daily posting local activities, food, travel, content, and specials. At our company, we invested in building our social media community over 5 years to over 100,000 followers on multiple sites, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Pinterest, I think we had over 20,000 pins. Depending on the channel, our followers received approximately 1 to 2 posts per day, which included property discounts, area information, things to do, inspirational photos, and fun travel memes. Having a fan base will allow you to advertise your last minute deals to a targeted audience of people interested in your area and your company. Your last minute offerings might be just what one of those followers are looking for, and they will thank you for it. Consistently send emails to your past guests and include your last minute deals. Your best future customers are the ones you have already sold something to. So regularly remind your past guests of all the great things to do at your location, places to eat, how wonderful your properties are. You can do this with a weekly or bi-weekly newsletter, which can also include any last minute specials you may have. Past guests will and do appreciate the regular communication and inspiration, as well as being notified of good deals for the places they're already familiar with. Create fun email opening headlines and tempt them with your best property photos and price in red, which shows them there's a special price. This email example is our last specials email to our curated list of thousands of past guests. And you can see we said, hey, it's Beach Friday. We came up with any reason to want to communicate with them. And so it's Beach Friday, book a great deal on your beachside getaway. And you can see here we had, the price in red, and that was for Lucy's Beach House. And then it looks like we had 4 properties that were going to be available coming up. And so we wanted to let people know. Optimize your website's SEO specifically for your area. Again, this is more preventative than reactive to last minute openings, but it was a key part of our book direct strategy. In fact, because of the localized SEO we invested in, our property management company was always higher in organic search ranking than our closest competitor and the major OTAs in the core areas we received. Here's an example of how Vacasa took our place as number 1 in the organic search results, with our previous competitor second, and then VRBO and Airbnb right behind. And yeah, we sold our company to Vacasa, so they kind of took that spot. Here's what Conrad O'Connell from Build Up Bookings says about the importance of search optimization. Organic search is the number 1 direct booking traffic source when analyzing the top vacation rental brands in the most in-demand leisure markets. Our data tells us brands that get above average direct bookings, more than 50% direct, see around 60% of their direct bookings attributed to Google organic search traffic in Google Analytics. Along with our property content, we also created a lot of helpful local travel information, including our best places for dining, shopping, activities, and local attraction pages that created powerful local relevance to our site, ultimately allowing us to dominate the top search positions for our area. We highly recommend working with an experienced vacation rental search marketing company to do the optimization, keyword research, and implementation. However, since no one knows your local area better than you do, it's a good idea to write as much about your location as possible. Share it with your search marketer. By the way, once you begin optimizing your site, showing up higher in the rankings will likely take several months to show up, so you don't want to delay. Expand your online presence by listing on local advertising channels. Adding your properties to additional online marketplaces can increase exposure to your properties, especially the niche and regional sites, since they are highly focused on specific traveler needs or regional searches. 2 regional sites that are powerful examples of this are FloridaRentalByOwners.com and SmokyMountain.com, each of which receive over 1 million visits per month. So all these techniques work, and of course, we were not the only ones in the industry that did them. They also allowed us to have a very high occupancy rate. But what I really needed in addition to this techniques that we just saw was a site like a Hotels Tonight, especially exclusively for vacation rentals, and that also addressed the problems with OTAs when it came to last minute marketing challenges. So we created Getaway GoGo to be a high exposure, last minute focused marketplace without the barriers to booking. And one of those was that in Getaway GoGo, all communication and booking are directly between the traveler and the property manager, not Getaway GoGo. Because of this, the property manager is also the merchant of record. So all payments and refunds are always under your control. Once they book or communicate with you, they are yours to work with. In order to present the most competitive book direct pricing and maximize value for the traveler and revenue for the property manager, we decided against a risky and expensive annual subscription. Also, property managers have 100% flexibility to show deals when they want in the 14-day window. Not only do we not like subscriptions, we especially do not like price inflating commissions or to property managers or a service fee to travelers based on nightly rate and length of stay. Instead, we decided on a flat fee. So we made every reservation, no matter the amount, a flat booking fee of just $10 to the property manager. And the logged in traveler can also contact you directly by adding your contact, your by using your direct contact information or send a note to you directly. This connection is just a $7 fee and only applied to the first time someone inquires about your deals. Other inquiries for the same deal are free until it ends. You can easily connect to Getaway GoGo with Hostfully, and it's simple. There are no integration fees, and guest inquiries and bookings show up in the Hostfully PMS just like your other channels. To get started, simply go to getawaygogo.com/manager sign up. Create a property manager account in Getaway GoGo, and you'll receive an email to start the easy-to-use wizard. Enable Getaway GoGo and Hostfully, and that's it. The rest is managed in your PMS. You almost never need to go back into Getaway GoGo again. And we designed it that way because I just want you to stay right in your PMS. By the way, if there's also setup instructions are listed on the Hostfully site, and you can email me or your Hostfully rep if you can't find it. If you'd like a short presentation to your team before starting, please email me and we can set that up. And that's it from my side. If there's, I'd love to hear any questions people may have.
Thank you so much, Brad. I personally have a question. I'm curious. With the channels, we always, especially those of us that work in sales, we always like to tell our property managers what they can expect in terms of how long it takes to onboard. It looks like it's a pretty simple process through Getaway GoGo. Yes,
it is. Actually, just the wizard takes maybe about 15 minutes. And again, it's a 7-point wizard, and it's designed to hold you through the process, and is very simple. So it's probably about 15 to 20 minutes.
Great. Now, I did have a question that came through also regarding deposits. Do you think that deposits hinder last-minute bookings?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it really just kind of depends on the property. I mean, sometimes you need to create a deposit. We used damage waivers, and we basically eliminated all damage deposits from our system. And it was scary at first because we were not sure, hey, what happens, with one of the, if the property is damaged. And so we tested it for quite a while, and the damage waiver worked really, really well. And I would say that putting down a damage deposit would probably hinder that. That would probably be, I would say yes. But ultimately, having a deposit of any type could be a barrier to a reservation, especially if your competitor is 100% using damage waivers.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's certainly a trend that we're seeing these days as well, as people moving away from deposits and more towards like guest screening tools or other options. But I think we've got a couple of other questions though that we want to make sure we get to. So one of the questions is, let's see, where do we begin? Since you are not a merchant of record, how do you guard against fraud? We are using a great last minute site currently, and they are merchant of record, and we like that for last minute.
Yeah, so this is a direct marketing site. So literally they are going to be contacting you and making the booking directly with you. And so what we're doing is we're just doing we are connecting people with places. So we are a book direct marketplace. So they will actually see your deal. They'll see it's your company. They'll book directly with you. You can do all the screening with them. The booking is actually done directly on your processor. So if you're using Ascent processing or any kind of other processing tool, then you would actually do 100% of the screening. We are just doing the connection, making the connection. I don't know if that answered your question, but we don't do any of the screening. That's up to you because we think you're actually much better at it than we would be. And that's what we always wanted as property managers. We want to be able to do the screening. We want to be able to decide who the guest is going to be that's going to stay in the property, and nobody knows that better than the property manager.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Also, just Brad, out of just curiosity, like what constitutes a last minute booking, and like would that change per market, per season? Like, is there like a number that would constitute a last minute booking?
It's 14 days before arrival. So
Okay.
yeah, so that typically
would that like change in like during a hot season, or maybe be extended a little bit during a cool season?
it sure can. I would say that, there are some markets, like when we were at the VRMA show, we were talking to people from the Middle East, and over 75-80% of their last minute bookings happen within 7 days of arrival. So whereas you have islands, like you look at, say, Hawaii or any kind of an island, the Bahamas, etc., the last minute bookings are the lowest there. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but as far as like seasonality of it, typically, let's just say, let's also look at, like, say, the mountain regions, and you have a great storm that just happened, like what just happened in the Rockies here, in the Sierras and the Rockies, and people are kind of waiting, and they're like, okay, wait a minute, you know what? That last minute window, people may not want to plan 14 days in advance. They want to wait and see, what's the weather going to be like? Is it, are we going to have good snow? And so, it can lower or lengthen. Sometimes we started our last minute planning as far as our last minute pricing strategies, and looking at, what we were going to be doing within, 30 days out. So we weren't always waiting to 14 days before, arrival before we started actually doing our yield management on our pricing. We were actually looking at 30 days in advance and saying, hey, what's happening right now? Within our market, whether it was, northern Orange County, northern San Diego County, southern, LA County, whatever it was, we kind of wanted to see what was going on, what events were happening, etc. So I'm not sure if I answered your question, but
no, for sure. Yeah, I didn't know if there was like a hard number, but I guess it makes sense depending on the market and the time of year.
Yeah.
A couple of the next questions that are coming in are really focused on the discounts of last minute bookings. For example, where do I offer a discount on last minute bookings? Would they do that on Hostfully or directly on their PMS, or would they go through Getaway GoGo?
Yeah. So what Getaway GoGo does is that all we're doing is we're just reflecting whatever your pricing is. So we'll actually take a price for a particular dates. Let's say it's tomorrow and the next 3 days, and we recorded those days, what those days were, say 45 days ago, and let's say they were $400 a night, but now because it's in a last minute situation, they're $200 a night. So we're just going to reflect what the price was for these dates and what the price is for these dates, and from the PMS. But there's no discounting that happens in Getaway GoGo. All the discounting happens just like normal in your dynamic pricing tool. Say it's like Price Labs, Beyond, or Wheelhouse, in particular to Hostfully. All that happens within those tools, and we just reflect what that is. I've seen other sites and where they'll take the base price and say, hey, this is the base price, and then they compare that to the price today. But the base price doesn't typically reflect an accurate price of what happened, like 45 days ago. I mean, the base price is just kind of like a starting point, but it's not like a real price number. So, and then also another thing about Getaway GoGo is that you don't have to have a reduced price to be on Getaway GoGo. It's really also a, hey, if there's a last minute opening, this is where people are going to go to see where it is. And a lot of times too, you can also have where the price could go up. Let's just say it's, a very high demand weekend, let's say 4th of July weekend, and there are openings because you've decided, hey, I'm going to try and get the best price I can, the highest price, and wait for the people who are shopping at the last minute, and they're looking, and they're going to see a great property, your awesome property, and they're going to see at the price, and they're going to go, yep, this is worth it to me. So they're going to make a booking there, but it's not necessarily a discount.
That just brings me into my next question. I was going to ask you, technically, does dropping your price always make you more money? But it seemed as though you answered that. Like, it doesn't. You don't have to drop your price to get onto Getaway GoGo. You can. It's just a status.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think that people are motivated. Again, we know what the statistics are. People are motivated by good deals. There's actually a complete different demographic for people who love to shop, to travel last minute. Because you look at the people who wouldn't dream of making their vacation plans, within the 14th day before arrival window. They're like, okay, we just had our incredible, like at our places in Newport Beach, we just had this incredible vacation, and we're going to book it the day after they're, the day before they're going to leave. They want to make sure it's booked for next year. And, that's a different group of people. When it comes to, they're really just kind of the two different strategies, two different demographics. And so that's who Getaway GoGo is targeted at. We're targeted at the people who are looking at their clock going, hey, you want to go somewhere this weekend? Or, hey, the snow is good. Or let's get the family to the beach. Or, man, it's raining here like crazy. Let's go somewhere it's dry and sunny. And that's
those are the fun friends to have, right?
Yes, that's right. You want to go with those people. Yeah.
I think we've also got another question that says, do you market via social media at a property level with days available in last minute window, or it's placing on the website?
Oh, that's a great question. And so, yeah, I mean, it probably will be a combination of both. So, I mean, it's going to be, when there are great properties, and we'll be doing both. It'll be area specific, and it will be property specific, but not all of them. Obviously, when we have a lot of properties on the site, then that it could be overwhelming to have that many on social media as well. But I think the goal is to point people toward the areas they're looking for. And of course, we can know that based off of where they are, etc.
And then there was just two more questions specifically in regard to Evolve, but I feel like you answered this already. But so one question is, we use a booking service that refuses to lower the rate during the week. Can we still use your service if we already have a booking company? I guess answer that one first.
So the way our works is it's through a PMS, and so all the connections are made through the PMS. I'd have to see what the specific situation was, and you can feel free to email me, brad@getawaygogo.com, and we can talk through that. But typically the connections are all made through the PMS.
Gotcha. And then there's also I use evolve.com to manage all of my listings. Would these strategies be able to be tweaked to use with a listing management company like that?
Which question is that?
1, 2, 3 down. I use evolve.com to manage my listings. Would these strategies be able to be tweaked to use with a listing
management company like that? Sure. I mean, we've actually been in conversation with Evolve. So, if we can kind of just, again, send me an email, brad@getawaygogo.com, and then we can jump on a call and talk about some of the specific challenges that you may have. And as well, I did see one question about when we'll be live. And so
I was gonna end with that one.
I see. Oh, okay.
No, go for it. I'm sure everyone's waiting to know.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So right now, and we were at the Vacation Rental Managers Association show in San Antonio, which is wonderful, where we launched to property managers. And so, obviously we are talking to property managers today and throughout the week as well, and we'll continue to do that so that we can build content onto properties into our site. So we would love to have you onto getawaygogo.com. Obviously, we can't really launch without properties because people are going to go there to try and find the properties. I can tell you that my marketing team we are waiting on the sidelines as we are anticipating lots of properties coming into the site. And we have hundreds of ads already built. We are super excited about being able to launch Getaway GoGo. Everybody we've talked to is very excited about it as well. And especially because of the $10 pricing for booking, flat rate for booking, which we think is going to be very helpful, and the direct communication, and that you're the merchant of record. But the goal is to try and launch in November. But it kind of just depends on how many properties do we have in the site. But the goal is to try and help property managers with maybe some last minute Thanksgiving gaps that they may have, or the beginning of December. Kind of just depends on where they're at. So.
And then, Brad, sorry, I had one more question for you. So do you think that the cancellation policy should be adapted to increase last minute bookings?
Will you say the question again?
Do you think that a cancellation policy should be revised to accommodate for last minute bookings?
Oh, in what way?
Like if it should be made more flexible or more strict?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I think that really is a function of the of the property. Obviously it is a good question. The statistics are showing that having a more flexible cancellation policy it seems to have a higher booking as higher bookings. I would say when we're in the 14-day before arrival kind of window, then the chance of a cancellation, number one, are very low. But it's a good question. I think you really kind of have to take the temperature of your property owners, and it really kind of depends on the market as well. I would say I would have a strict policy if I'm on an island and it's more difficult to get a last minute booking. Then I would say if you're in a drive location where getting last minute is pretty easy, then you can be a lot more flexible with that. But I would say if you're in an area where there's, the bookings are last minute bookings are less likely, and then someone makes they make a cancellation, then it's harder to fill. So
that makes sense.
Right. There's that reality of like, hey, I really want the bookings and I, want to be super, super guest friendly. But then there's also the aspect of like, well, I have a business to run and I'm going to go with the guests that aren't going to cancel. And I also need to protect my owners and my company.
It's a delicate balance.
It sure is.
Definitely. Well, I think those are the questions that we had for today. We're so grateful that you've been here with us today. We know you've got quite a bit on your plate as you're wrapping up the final touches to launch Getaway GoGo and get everything ready. So we'll be sending a thank you email to all of you who have registered with a link to the recording of this webinar in the next couple of days. But in the meantime, thank you all so much. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Frank. And we'll be in contact again soon. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. And I look forward to hearing from everybody Brad at getawaygogo.com.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.